Hello everybody and welcome back to another episode of Mostly From Scratch. I am your host Mr. Munchies, and in this episode I am going to show you how to make marsala chicken. So let's get into our ingredients. Here I have 3 chicken breasts, you can use 4 if you want, that I've slightly pounded out just to make them a little bit thinner. And for our chicken coating, we have approximately about 1 cup of all-purpose flour. To that we are going to add 1 teaspoon of black pepper, 1 teaspoon of garlic powder, 1 teaspoon of salt, and this is optional, but I'm going to add a teaspoon of my brother's homemade hot pepper shake. For our sauce, we're going to need approximately however much oil it takes to cover the bottom of your pan. Some marsala wine, or whatever type of wine you have on hand. I happen to have white. You're going to need about 3/4 of a cup of that. You're going to need about 3/4 of a cup of heavy cream, 8 ounces of mushrooms. These are just the canned ones. 1.5 cups of either beef stock or chicken stock. I'm going to be using the beef stock. 4 to 5 cloves of finely minced garlic. About 2 teaspoons of parsley. This is dried. If you're going to be using fresh, you might want to use a little less because it's going to be kind of powerful. Some butter. And I'm going to add about a teaspoon of red pepper flakes to that. So let's get into coating our chicken, getting that going. So we're going to get our pot going. We're going to add some olive oil to that. Just enough to lightly cover the bottom of the pan. And we're going to add our dry ingredients together. And just get those incorporated with a whisk or a fork. And then take your chicken and just lightly dredge it in the flour. You just want a nice light coating on this. See, it's not too heavy. It's not like we're doing fried chicken. Okay? So just make sure it's evenly coated, light dusting. Get our oil distributed across the bottom of the pan. Looks like it's already kind of hot. I'm on about a medium heat right here. And get our first piece of chicken in. Make sure you always wash your hands after handling raw chicken too. And let's get that heat cranked up a little bit more. Get that oil hot. There we go, it's sizzling now. Okay, we got our chicken in. We're going to let this go for about 3 to 4 minutes on each side, maybe a little bit longer depending on how thick your breasts are. Let's get this stuff out of the way. And we're going to let these cook, like I said, about anywhere from 3 to 5 minutes on each side. Once those are done, I will be back and then we will start our sauce. Okay, we're back. These took about 7 minutes on each side because they're a little thick, but take a look at that. Look how nice and golden brown that is. And it smells wonderful too. So now I'm just going to set these to the side and just cover them with a piece of foil to keep them warm. And now the pan's not too hot. Let me show you what we have in the bottom of our pan. See all that's left over from the chicken there? We're going to just leave that right in the pan. And we're going to start out at about a medium-high heat. That's 4 out of 10 on my stove. And to this, we are going to add about a tablespoon of butter. Let that melt down a little bit. Now you don't want to, I just want to say you don't want to use a non-stick pan for this. You got to use a metal pan because you're going to be scraping this stuff off the bottom. And that's going to be all part of your flavor. So we had some olive oil left in there. We've added our butter. And we're going to scrape some of that char off of there. You cannot do this in a non-stick pan. Oh yeah, look at that. See how that stuff's coming off of there? That's all flavor right there. Okay, so to this we're going to add our mushrooms. And we're going to let them saute for a minute. And I'm going to turn this up to about a medium at the moment. 6 out of 10. And get these mushrooms going. And over here I've got some yellow potatoes going because I'm going to make garlic mashed potatoes to go with this. And I'm not going to show you that because you should know how to make mashed potatoes. But if you don't, and you want to leave a request in the comments below, I'd be more than happy to show you how to make mashed potatoes. But that's pretty simple, but a lot of people can't do that. So if you can't, and you want me to show you, let me know. I'm here to help. That's what Mr. Munchies is all about. Getting you going to eat some good food. Alright, our mushrooms are almost there. Give it just a little bit more heat because we're going to be adding some cold stuff to this pan. Alright, so I'm up to about 8 out of 10. Okay, so now we're going to add our garlic. Garlic's in. Get that tossed around a little bit. Oh wow, you should smell this, it is awesome. Alright, let them saute for just a second. And then we're going to add our wine. Now, I'm not a wine drinker, but I usually keep some on hand for cooking. And I don't even think I own a corkscrew. There we go. Oh, this smells so good. Alright, it looks like our garlic is starting to get a little translucent there. So now we're going to add our wine. There's about 3/4 of a cup. About 3/4 of a cup. Pour that in nice and slow so it doesn't splatter on you. Hear how it cooled that pan off? That's why I cranked it up a little bit. Put our cork back in. Let's go that way. Here we go. Just let that simmer for a second. Scrape that stuff off the bottom of the pan because that's where all your flavor is. Now you smell the wine. Take a look at that. Alright, let's get that going. Get that wine bubbling. So next we're going to add our dried parsley and our pepper flakes. Now, if you're using fresh parsley, you probably don't want to put that in until the end, but because I'm using dry, I want it to soak up a little bit of the liquid and start opening up, so I'm going to put that in now. So that's going in. Give that a little stir around. And if you want, you can add some Italian herb to this too, if you got like a multi-blend Italian herb or something like that. Feel free to make it your own. Alright, and go the pepper flakes. Oh, this smells so good. Get this stuff out of the way. Alright, now we're going to add our beef and or chicken stock. I'm using beef. You can use chicken or beef. Preference, give it a try. You might like one better than the other. And this is fresh beef stock. This is not stuff out of a bottle or a can. Oh yeah, it is. No, it's not. Some of it is. Half of it is. That's right. Some of it is, some of it isn't. I shouldn't have said anything. I'll edit that part out. Alright, so let's get this back to a boil. I'm going to crank that up to high. Because that beef stock was a little cool. It's about room temperature. And if you use a bigger pan like this is about a 12, 13-inch pan, things will come to a boil a little bit quicker because your surface area is bigger and your depth is not like boiling potatoes. You don't have 6 inches of water in there. So it only takes a second to get everything back up to temperature. Okay, it's almost there, see? About to boil again. Now we're going to add our heavy cream. Your cream is going to be your thickener. Alright, here we go. Got a nice small boil there. We're going to add our cream, about 3/4 of a cup. That's about how much I have left in this container. Give it a nice stir. Let it come back up to a boil again. Shouldn't take long. Yeah, it's already starting. Okay, everything's up to a boil. It looks like our parsley has absorbed some moisture and starting to open up. And now that I look at it, I might want to cut back on the parsley a little bit the next time. Alright, so you can see it's already starting to get a little bit thick there. So I'm going to roll this back to number 3. It's about a medium low. So I don't want this to scorch. Definitely don't want it to scorch. And now we're going to add our chicken back to it. So let me put this to the side. Add our chicken. And put that back in there. Come on, chicken. Oh, and by the way, this was a clean plate. I didn't put the cooked chicken back on the plate that had the raw chicken. Alright, toss that around a little bit, get a little bit of that juice on the top. And now, it's a waiting game. I've got it on medium-low heat, and we're going to let this cook for approximately 10 to 15 minutes. Keep an eye on it, see how our sauce starts to thicken up, and turn the chicken maybe once halfway through so it soaks up all that goodness. And I will be back in about 15 minutes. Okay, we are back. Everything is done. The chicken went for 15 minutes, about 7 minutes on each side. Our sauce thickened up nicely. So now we got our chicken and our mashed potatoes together. See the sauce there? Doesn't that look good? Yeah. It's almost orgasmic, some people would say. Alright, so let's cut into this. Give it a little taste. Oh yeah, perfect. Some garlic mashed potatoes. Perfect too. Okay, so give it a try. Let me know what you think. And like I always say, you know, my recipes are more like guidelines, adjusted to your own taste. If you're watching this on Facebook, please share it with all your friends. If you're watching this on YouTube, share it with your friends as well. Don't forget to subscribe. Give me some feedback on it, everybody. So, chicken marsala and garlic mashed potatoes. This has been another episode of Mostly from Scratch. I am your host, Mr. Munchie. So everybody, plate up and chow down.